stories this evening, sponsored by Courts, bringing value home. City Council's financial report flagged by Public Accounts Committee. WPA lobbies for minors with children to benefit from the $100,000 one-off cash grant. UK trade delegation in Guyana to explore investment opportunities. And Mahdia resident celebrates turning 102. HGP Nightly News begins now. Good evening to our viewers here in Guyana and online. I'm Aletha Grant with the Monday, 11th November 2024 edition of the HGP Nightly News. We will tell you at this hour that the Public Accounts Committee has raised alarming concerns about the lack of financial reporting from the Georgetown Mayor and City Council. This includes the unexplained absence of the town clerk and the city's failure to submit critical financial statements for audit. More details from Carice Gonzalez.
During a recent session of the Public Accounts Committee PAC meeting, Minister of Public Works Juan Edgel voiced concerns about the lack of financial reporting from the mayor. He also pointed out the absence of the town clerk, who has failed to attend the meeting and provide any updates on the city's finances. The 2019 National Budgetary allocated a total of $300 million to the City Council for the restoration and enhancement of the capital city.
Some clerks have to answer to their PS. We don't have to ask the local government permission to have the town clerk present. The PS who disburses money must come here with that person to answer for the monies that are disbursed.
The allocation of the $300 million was distributed across various projects, including $162,044,000 for Georgetown's restoration and enhancement, $89,688,000 for market rehabilitations, $11,614,000 for vehicle purchases, $34,824,000 for garbage trucks, and $1,830,000 for withholding tax. Meanwhile, the acting city treasurer, who had been in a junior role during the last audit, stated that she was not fully briefed on the detailed financial records and as a result was unable to address some of the specific concerns raised during the audit.
The program, I was unable to indicate or to say what is it because at that time I was not in place. I was in a junior position. I didn't know, I wasn't privy to these information.
However, the MNCC has failed to submit its financial statements for audit in recent years. The last audit of the MNCC was conducted in 2004, and the City Council has not provided any financial statements for the years 2006, 2008 to 2011, and 2017 to 2019. I am Carice Gonzalez reporting for the HGP Nightly News.
The Working People's Alliance is calling for minors who have children to also benefit from the one-off cash grant to support their child. More details from Daisy Richards.
Children who bear children, the group of persons under 18 and who have children, boys and girls, literally, are an especially vulnerable group in Guyana.
That was Professor Clive Thomas, a member of the Working People's Alliance, on Monday during his party's press conference. He further emphasized that the one-off cash grant should not be burdensome to the government since Guyana is in a position to support every citizen.
And we should not have our children who bear children have to go through penury so that we could give them 100,000 US Guyana dollars. That's chicken feed. They spend more than that in a trip.
Adding that Guyanese who already have established households overseas should not be a priority.
I would prefer to give a cash handout of any type in terms of aiding a family to such vulnerable people rather than my family living overseas coming home for holiday. where they already have an established household.
The 100,000 cash grant will be available only to Guyanese citizens over the age of 18 by January 2024. Meanwhile, the presidential candidate of the Working People's Alliance also called for a clean voters list. For HGP Nightly News, I am Daisy Richards.
With over 100 years since the end of World Wars I and II, many countries across the globe held memorial services for their fallen heroes. Commander-in-Chief President Irfaan Ali, in leading Guyana's charge, urged citizens not to take the sacrifices made by the servicemen and women for granted. Antonio Day has that story.
A somber wreath-laying ceremony was held at the Senate on Sunday to pay homage to the servicemen and women who fought during World War I and II. This ceremony saw government officials, veterans from the Guyana Legion, members of the Diplomatic Corps, and joint services gathering to pay homage.
We are forever indebted to them for their supreme sacrifice in the cause of peace and freedom. We also recall with gratitude those who through the years have made similar personal sacrifices in a continuing struggle for human dignity, social justice, and freedom from all forms of oppression.
That was Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces President Dr. Irfaan Ali delivering his remarks at the Remembrance Day wreath-laying ceremony. President Ali renewed calls for all citizens to endeavor to maintain a civil and peaceful society.
Rededicate ourselves to the search for peace everywhere and renew our commitment to the development and well-being of our beloved country.
The First World War I was fought from 1914 to 1918, while the Second World War, or World War II, was fought from 1939 to 1945. They were the largest military conflicts in human history. Several Guyanese volunteered to fight and form part of the British Caribbean forces. Some also volunteered to serve overseas with the British Navy, Royal Air Force, and the Women's Corps. Antonio Day reporting for the HGP Nightly News.
Join us after the break for more news.
Welcome to SNL Electrical Inc., where lighting and electrical needs are met with expertise and style. From the latest in electrical lamps to durable cables, circuit breakers, panels, we have it all. Illuminate your space with our elegant chandeliers, stunning crystal lights, and versatile pole lights. Looking to upgrade your comfort? Explore top-of-the-line AC units and our diverse selections of stylish styles. Visit us at 170-180 Thomas Street, Kitty, Georgetown. Discover a solution that not only lights up your world but transforms it. Call us on telephone number 226-3018 or 223-1634. SNL Electrical Inc., powering your life with elegance, quality, and key.
You don't leave anything to chance. Every day you click it, lock it, and mask up. Now press, rub, and wash with Sterling Super Soap. Our antibacterial formula eliminates 99.9% of all germs and bacteria. Clean and moisturize your hands with 4 refreshing and rejuvenating fragrances. Get super clean with Sterling Super Soap.
Krishna Rock Establishment. No job is too small or too large. We specialize in all types of fabricating, machinery, excavator repairs, rice field pumps, and hydraulic hoses. Visit us at Lot 113, Block CC Monrepo, East Coast, Demerara, or call 220-9624, 616-9416, or 619-7880. At Krishna Rock Establishment, no job is too small or too large.
Thanks for staying with us. You with the HGP Nightly News. Antonia Day tells us that Indigenous rights activist Laura George has raked the government over the coals for failing to take responsibility regarding the circumstances which led to the Mahdia Secondary School dormitories fire.
The Commission of Inquiry, COI, into the Mahdia fire concluded on November 9, 2023. which heavily criticized Chief Fire Officer Acting Gregory Wickham and former Regional Education Officer REDO for Region 8 and Nesta Douglas for their failure to implement measures that could have prevented the fire that ravaged the Mahdia Secondary School dormitory. Alliance for Change advisor on Indigenous Affairs Laura George, during her party's press conference late last week, retorted that the state has since refused to acknowledge its responsibility regarding the ordeal.
The state of Guyana shamefully has refused, under the administration of the PPP government, refused to take responsibility on the lives lost of those children and their state care.
According to the Ministry of Education, the village of Mykobi Region 8 will benefit from the construction of a new secondary school to the tune of $253 million. George said, while this is laudable, physical infrastructure alone cannot account for the number of lives lost during the blaze.
The government reports or the press and what is there says that a secondary school is being built in Mykobi. That's a good thing.
The state had announced that the families of the children who perished would receive a financial settlement of $5 million. Nightly News understands from sources that several families in Mykobi and Carisparrow have already received compensation packages. Many human rights critics like George have deemed this unacceptable, as the sums of monies pledged by the government cannot in no way compensate for the lives lost.
It would be important to know what human resource support they have going beyond physical infrastructure.
Spacing per child, adults across all living quarters, such as dining and sleeping, laundry and kitchen spaces, communal study area, sports facility, and living quarters for dormitory parents, human resources requirements, as in-the-house parents, cooks, welfare officers, counselors, auxiliary staff, financial implications for meeting comprehensive standards across the dormitory plant were some of the shortcomings flagged in a joint report by UNICEF and the Ministry of Education on dormitories locally. Antonio De reporting for the HGP Nightly News.
A 50-member team has been assembled by the Ministry of Education as maths monitors who will target 50 secondary schools across the country to ensure effective classroom instruction. Schools selected for the program are those with historically low pass rates, particularly in grades 10 and 11. Students from the targeted schools receive essential resources such as past paper booklets, geometry sets, scientific calculators, and textbooks. The program also includes diagnostic tests, national mock exams, and twice weekly math lessons aired on the Ministry of Education and the Guyana Learning Channel's platforms. In 2018, the then APNU-AFC government rolled out a national primary monitoring program targeting the core subject areas, math, English, science, and social studies, with a major focus on math and English. The ministry in 2019 indicated that the program made a significant difference in the lives of students. That program ended in 2020 on the onset of the COVID-19 pandemic. Travis Chase will now tell us that the Guyana Fire Service is still on the ground as it seeks to ascertain the cause of the blaze that damaged the 4th floor of a building on Saturday.
Fire investigators have not yet determined the cause of the blaze that damaged a section of the roof of the fireside suites located on Garnet Street, Kitty. In providing an update, the Guyana Fire Service said that the Fire Prevention Department has since indicated that the fire completely destroyed the 4th floor of the wooden and concrete structure. Chief Fire Officer Gregory Wickham, who was on the scene, spoke of firefighting efforts employed that contained the blaze.
2 other tenders came to lend support to firefighting. They were able to bring the fire under control and stop it from spreading. Also, we had in use the Bronto Skylift, where our firefighters were able to be going up by lifted up into the air to do overhead firefighting. That would have actually contained and extinguished the blaze. As we speak now, they're doing what we call mopping up with the little pockets of smoke that they're seeing on the roof. And that's going to bring an end to it. After that, we're going to do our investigation to determine what really caused this fire.
Owner of the building, Simeon Francis, reported to investigators that there were no injuries or fatalities resulting from the incident. He said that it was due to the swift response of firefighters and the use of the Bronto Skylift hydraulic platform.
So credit must be given to the firefighters. I want to applaud the person who also called the fire service because, you know, fire doesn't really wait on anyone and time is of importance. So the earlier we get these calls, we'll be able to get a quicker response. And so I'm pretty glad for the person that called the fire service in raising that alarm.
A Zimbabwean national who lives in close proximity to the fireside suite said he was prepared to form a bucket brigade, but the fire service beat him to the punch.
So I was just busy watching some YouTube videos. Then my neighbor here, he's called Gerardo, he's from Cuba. So he's the one who came and alerted me that there's something going on outside. So I just came outside and then he showed me that there was some fire burning there. Then we just assembled here and tried to see if anything was going to fall on our side here. Then we were prepared like to fight it with a bucket of water or something like that.
Meanwhile, the Guyana Fire Service is reminding the business community of the critical importance of fire safety and encourages all establishments to regularly review and update their fire prevention measures. Homeowners are also asked to equip their homes with fire extinguishers and smoke detectors, as well as clear evacuation plan in place. Travis Chase, HGP Nightly News.
We have more news for you after this break. Stay with us.
Planning a cleanup? We can help. Sevon's Waste Management skip bins can be provided for home renovation projects, yard cleanup, or construction project. It's simple. Step 1, give us a call. Step 2, we put down the bin. Step 3, load it up with all of your junk. Step 4, we take it away. That's simple. Bins are also available in various sizes, so there is no job that is too big or too small. Call Sevon's Waste Management today at 218-1455.
Tropic Construction Solutions, we pride ourselves on being one of the leading distributors of high-quality woven and non-woven geotextile fabric, geotextile tubes, and geogrids for over 15 years in Guyana. We supply reflective vests, sleeves, quality hard hats, and more for your construction needs. We are located in number 2 Village, East Coast Berbice, 1 minute from Palmyra. Our distribution mechanism enables us to offer delivery across the city of Georgetown. Contact us at +5926-284-077 or visit our website at www.tcsgt.com.
Thanks for staying with us as we continue with nightly news. A high-profile UK trade delegation is in Guyana seeking to explore new business opportunities and strengthen economic ties in the areas of maritime, construction, and environmental services. More details from Carice Gonzalez.
The British High Commission, in collaboration with the Caribbean Council, the British Chamber of Commerce, and the Georgetown Chamber of Commerce and Industry, on Monday, hosted the opening ceremony for the UK trade delegation to Guyana at the Marriott. British High Commissioner Jane Miller, in her opening remarks, highlighted that Guyana has become the UK's leading trade partner in the Caribbean since the two countries established diplomatic relations.
So for the UK government, over the past 3 years, our trade has tripled in Guyana. It's now about £1.8 billion of trade between the UK and Guyana.
The High Commissioner further emphasized the importance of understanding the local market and encouraged stakeholders to engage directly on the ground, ensuring that the necessary support and guidance would be available.
You don't really understand the market until you've been here and develop those friendships, understand who's here. And the second piece of advice is to have a local partner.
Meanwhile, Finance Minister Dr. Ashley Singh, addressing the UK delegation, urged them to continue exploring new business opportunities here.
There is room for more to be produced, goods and services, in every single sector of the economy.
The delegation comprises several British companies keen on identifying investment opportunities and developing business collaborations with both the government and private sector. The trade delegation, which departs on Thursday, includes representatives from various industries, including maritime, legal services, shipping, environmental sectors, construction and civil engineering, security, procurement, as well as suppliers of specialized materials and equipment. I am Carice Gonzalez reporting for the HGP Nightly News.
Mahdia resident Mrs. Ruby Hunt turned 102. She was celebrated by her family and friends over the weekend. Daisy Richards reports.
Miss Ruby Letitia Amanda Hunt, called Cousin Ruby or Ma, turned 102 on November 10th and celebrated with her family and friends who offered many well wishes and congratulations. The Centenarian was born on November 10th, 1922, and lives at 1st Street, Jonestown, Mahdia, and is the mother of 10 children, 5 of whom have passed on. Miss Hunt in her younger years attended the Mahdia Scott School that was later renamed the Mahdia Primary School, and due to her family being not well off financially, was never given the opportunity to complete her studies. Ruby, who was the eldest of 5 children, left school in 1938 and joined her grandmother, working on an estate in Mahdia to support her family. In 1951, she got married and sold produce in the Georgetown and the Mahdia markets. In 2018, when Miss Ruby turned 96, she said that, quote, "When I was young, I used to like sport and I liked to dance. I went to many parties and had an enjoyable time," unquote. She has lived to see her 4th generation. She indicated that at her age, her time remaining is for her children, great-grand, and great-great-grandchildren, since she had worked so hard to raise them. With dedication and support from her family, Cousin Ruby said she isn't short of anything. Noting that youths today are different from her generation, she said discipline and community involvement are key to raising respectful children. For HGP Nightly News, I am Daisy Richards.
Stay tuned for regional news.
This is Offshore Diaries.
Interested in honoring or paying tribute to a loved one, or just making a loved one feel special? HGP TV offers you all that and more. Air your birthday greetings, death announcements, and wedding anniversaries on HGP TV today. HGP TV offers affordable prices, convenience, and great services. Call us on 220-3660 or email us at sales@hgptv.com.
Good evening and welcome to Monday's edition of the Regional News. We begin with news from Haiti. Haiti will name entrepreneur and former Senate candidate Alec Fils-Aimé to replace Prime Minister Gary Conille, who was selected for the role in May, according to a Transitional Presidential Council draft resolution. The shakeup is the latest blow to political stability in the country, which has been racked with worsening violence. Armed gangs have gained control of most of the capital, Port-au-Prince, and expanded to nearby regions, fueling hunger and forcing hundreds of thousands from their homes. Promised international support still lacks, and nearby nations have deported Haitian migrants back to the country. The resolution dated Monday, November 11, is expected to be published in the official Gazette. Conille, who also briefly led the country over a decade ago, has been Prime Minister for about 6 months. He was appointed the role in May by Haiti's Transition Council to return to the role as the Caribbean nation works to restore stability. The Transition Council, named in April, was tasked with choosing a Prime Minister and wielding certain presidential powers until conditions are considered secure enough for a new election. There has been some infighting among its councillors. In Antigua, police have named the breakthrough in the investigation of Member of Parliament Asad Michael's death, charging a 26-year-old resident of Golden Grove with murder. Alexa Francis was taken into custody late Friday evening and subsequently charged with the alleged murder of the St. Peter's constituency representative. According to reports, he confessed to the killing and pointed the police to key evidence. Francis is scheduled to make his first court appearance on Monday. Michael was found laying in a pool of blood in his home on November 5. Peru, the world's #2 copper exporter, is set to host Asia-Pacific Economic Cooperation leaders this week, with China's President Xi Jinping expected to attend and inaugurate a major new Chinese-built port in the country. Outgoing U.S. President Joe Biden is also on the guest list. Peru reflects a wider challenge for the White House, where China's presence has grown rapidly, given its huge appetite for the region's main exports, corn, copper, soy, and beef. That made Beijing the go-to trade partner from Brazil to Chile and Argentina, eroding Washington's regional political clout. A trend that widened under Trump's America First in-war turn during his first administration and again under Biden. However, China overtook the United States in 2015 on trade, with Peru widening the gap under Trump's previous administration from 2017 to 2021 and again under Biden. I am Carice Gonzalez. Thank you for watching.
City Council's financial report flagged by Public Accounts Committee WPA lobbies for minors with children to benefit from the $100,000 one-off cash grant. UK trade delegation in Guyana to explore investment opportunities. And Mahdia resident celebrates turning 102. Those are our major headlines. For these stories and more, please go to our website. It's www.hgptv.com. I'm Alethea Grant. Thanks for watching.